Hello, this is Steve Cramer, UNCG Business Librarian with an introduction to NAICS industry codes. And we will conclude this video by actually showing you how to search for them and find them using this site. But first, I want to show you some examples of different ways you can use these things so you know why this video is important, hopefully is important. For example, I can use these industry codes, which are here in this column, to identify all the data on wineries in North Carolina, including by size, how many people they employ, and their payroll, total sales, other types of data. So industry data, census data by NAICS code. You also can use these codes to find competitors. Here I looked for all of the vineyards in Virginia, including Prince Michael Vineyard in Leon, Virginia. And you can see what industry codes are listed here, including vineyards as well as grapes. And they also apparently have a retail operation as well. You also could do this for business-to-business customers. You just switch the codes to what the code would be for the customer. Another example, industry reports. This is the IBIS World Database. I have a separate video on this. And you can see I looked up celebrity and sport agents. Next code is up here, 71141. And this is just one summary of this 50-page report all about this industry I could find by keyword searching or by industry code. Two more examples, financial ratios. What are the profit margins for dentist practices, dentists in the country? I can use this database to find that kind of income data by different sales range or asset size range and other data as well. And finally, I can even map this data. I can look up by industry code the textile mills that are still existing in our country. And I can see where they're concentrated by total number of employees or by total payroll. So these are just a few examples of what NAICS codes are good for. Some background on them briefly, just 5 quick slides. This is a structure that's numerical, as you see with those numbers, and hierarchical. I'll give you examples of that in a second. You can go from a 2-digit broad level, we call it sector, to a 6-digit national level. In other words, sector through these other categories through US industry. Should note here that Canada and Mexico use these codes too at the 5-digit level. The 6 digits unique to each country, or can be. And here are examples. Sector 72 simply means accommodations and food services. So like hotels, motels, restaurants, coffee shops are all in that category. You can see the example there of hotels, except casino hotels, which have a different number. Kind of broader category, manufacturing, 3133. You can see some different subgroupings, including US industry, where there's 4 different socialized computing, electronics, semiconductor type categories. So that's an example of how these codes work. They fall under these 20 sectors, cover everything in the economy, even education and government services, nonprofits are in here too. So it pretty much covers the entire economic system of a country. As for finally, how to find these things, we use this site here, and you can see the full name now, North American Industrial Classification System. If you're on a census homepage, go to census.gov, find a code, next lookup, or I also Google search NAICS or NAICS census or NAICS codes, and you'll find census.gov NAICS. There are a few other versions out there, including a kind of advertised and supported version. I recommend, though, you use the official census version. You don't see the ads, and it's always up to date. So, for example, I need a coffee shop NAICS code. So I'm going to keyword search for coffee using the 2022 box and go. And notice we get many hits because there's also coffee agricultural work, coffee farming, there's coffee manufacturing, there's coffee retailing, such as stores here, there's coffee wholesaling, and finally at the bottom, you see the services, including coffee carts and coffee shops. So I'm going to click on that number, 722-515, and notice this actually is a slightly broader industry than that. It is snacks and non-alcoholic beverage bars. The nice definition here, a few examples. If you're looking for something else, these bullet points here, cross-references, give you some tips on where else to look if you need to. And then notice down here, this list of all the different related industries that do fall under all the subsets of this industry fall under here, coffee shops as well. So that's one example. Often the codes are precise for one industry. Here, though, given that there's so many of these things, some of them are socialized, but still providing like an easy service, takeout service, quick drop in, get out service. They're lumped up together into one category. One more thing I want to show you from the NAICS main page. This is not intuitive, but it's often useful. Notice reference files section. I'm not sure why they call it that, but there's a 2022 NAICS link. And this gives you the structures. I mentioned the 20 different sectors. So for example, final example here, I want to find restaurants. And how can you break that down by industry code? I'm going to go down to combination food services, 72, and then go past the hotels and RV parks. And you find food services, restaurants. And now I can see that there's 4 examples of restaurants: full service, limited, cafeteria, and snack and non-alcoholic beverage bars. So this gives you insights as to what your choices are if you don't know where to start, or you just get too many hits when you search. And again, that's just the 2022 link down here. That's it. Hope that helps. If I can support you in your industry analysis or competitive analysis or whatever else you're doing with NAICS codes, please let me know. Thank you very much.